everybody! Welcome back to The Men's Couch, a podcast show about men's mental health. I'm Alex Hennon.
And I'm Micah from here. Micah. I'm Micah. Micah Blackwell.
Okay.
Awesome. All right.
I'm excited to be back at
My name is Lauren Sandor, and I'm back.
Woo!
I'm Angie, and I'm a criminal justice major.
Oh, were we saying majors?
Oh,
no,
was
but
that
we were all saying.
We were just saying random stuff.
Oh.
Wait,
Um,
this is being. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
whoopsies.
No,
Oh.
I mean, this is all good. This is
Okay.
This is great so far. All right. Well, and welcome back, guys, to Men's Couch. This is season 3.
Hi.
I'm very proud of how. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Bloopers.
Okay.
I'm very proud of how this show is finally back. I'm super excited about all the topics we're going to talk about. And yeah, thank you guys all for joining us once again. And before we start, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Men's Couch. All right, Micah, take it away.
Okay, what are we talking about?
Regret and acceptance.
Okay, regret and acceptance.
There we go.
Regret and acceptance kind of came up as it came up over a number of conversations I had with you all about just you might regret something, but then the tough part is accepting that it happened or whatever it was that happened or whatever. I think I guess we don't see regret and acceptance as going hand in hand, but they do work out because things happen and you have to accept that they happen as an adult. And as we're becoming as we enter young adulthood, we have to see that it's okay to make those mistakes, and we have to accept that, but also deal with the regret after it. How do we deal with the regret of that?
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everyone has regrets,
Yeah.
big or small.
Like being roomies with you.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah, my
I'm just
my
kidding.
roommate sucks.
We're roommates.
My roommate freaking sucks. No,
I'm just kidding.
So I chose.
Context, they're both roommates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they were roommates.
Yeah.
Wow. Lord.
Hi.
Leslie has something to say.
No. Wait, what?
You have something to say.
No, I was just exaggerating. I was being extra.
Oh, okay.
Yep, we're good.
Extra.
Yep, all good. E for extra.
But yeah, I think it's important. Acceptance is a huge part in being an adult. Of maybe accepting decisions that you make, and just accepting where you're at in life. And I'm not saying to live with no regrets, but dealing with regret in a healthy way is, I think, through acceptance of the situation. This is what happened, and just go through that. So, yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. What's so funny? Did I miss the memo?
Okay.
This is off to a great start, guys.
She's gonna bust.
We're back.
She's gonna explode.
You were the one who was gonna explode a couple of minutes ago.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, Angie, what do you think of this discussion?
I do think that regret is something important that should be acknowledged. Because I feel like acceptance and regret go alongside. As you get older, you kind of maybe regret things that you've done or things that you've let go on and stuff like that. And then acceptance also goes along with that, because sometimes a thing that is huge. Oh yeah, with acceptance, it's you also have to accept that you're growing older and stuff, and sometimes
Yeah.
that's not easy to accept.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, you
That's
were
okay.
cooking.
Okay.
But it was
Okay.
yeah.
I wanted to establish okay, if you in the podcast if things just go out of track or whatever, it's this is a free discussion. This is
course.
not there's no
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to have all the points. It's it's an open discussion. So
Yeah.
if you forget anything, that's totally fine. Did you regret that you forget?
Yeah, because it was I was gonna make a correlation between them both, but I forgot.
That's okay. I mean, this is.
So acceptance correlates with regret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you accept?
Do you accept your regrets? Do you accept the things that cause regret?
I think you have to learn how,
Yeah.
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 Very much.
because
Yeah,
then you
have to
build
learn
up
how.
resentment and stuff.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean, it's not always the resentment. Sometimes it's other things that you build up, like anger or even more regret.
Yeah.
But you eventually have to learn to move forward.
Yeah.
I like to say like the word move forward because it sounds more like realistic than moving on. Because sometimes you can't like
It's like have
you
that,
can't
like,
move
instant
on or you
move
can't
on.
just like get over things. I hate the word get over.
I don't like that either.
Like,
Like,
get
just
over
just
it?
get
Yeah.
over it.
I prefer the word move forward because it's like
Yeah.
you keep that, but you learn how to keep going with it.
Because people tell you like get over it, but like they don't like elaborate more on like
Mhm.
the process of it.
Or sometimes there's like things that like it's not always a thing with everything, but sometimes there's certain things that you will never get over or
Yeah.
you will never like
Yeah.
be the same after they've happened to you.
Mhm.
At
Not
least, like,
everything.
At least like my perspective, like in this lifetime, because I feel because we're still in like in our human bodies. We're not like nothing is fully healed until we pass on. So we still
Yeah.
carry stuff that happened to us,
Like
and we
Yeah.
might like heal in a way, but it's not like fully.
Mhm.
yeah, like I heard that the move forward thing. I actually heard it from like a situation. I was reading about it somewhere, but it was about a parent who lost their child, and they were being asked if they like after that situation passed, they were asked if they thought that they could like move on from the death. They didn't say get over, but move on is basically like the same thing.
Mhm.
And she was basically like I will never move on from losing a child.
Mm-hmm.
What I learned to do is to move forward knowing that they're gone
There's a difference.
and learning to keep going in life, but you never forget about the trauma, you never forget about that stuff, but you learn how to keep going,
Yeah.
which is different.
That's
And it's more realistic too.
That's more of a
Yes.
realistic,
Yeah.
compassionate approach to life instead of just like, oh, why are you so like on this thing? Like, cause there's like I don't know. I see like life as like an onion. You peel back like the layers, and some things are just it's like a process of peeling it back. And I guess like it'll be fully peeled when we die.
Mhm.
I don't want to go like into death, but like my point is like we're still here. We're still like affected by things, and when the way we take like the process of healing or whatever, it's kind of like we take like we have like a very like just fast paced approach to healing, or just like to life in general, where we need to like kind of like just be like okay, healing isn't like a black and white one time thing. It's like a process, and moving forward, moving forward is different than just like completely moving on because
Mhm.
there are things that like are still going on
Mhm.
within yourself that happened. It happened a long time ago, but things are still working out internally.
It's still there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also hate the phrase "get over it"
Yeah, I don't like
because
it over it.
when people say that,
Why don't you just
they
get
just
over
don't
it?
understand of what, or they don't think it's a big deal of whatever
Yeah.
you're going through.
They're just like very like apathetic. Like they just don't
Compartmentalizing.
have empathy for other people.
Mm-hmm.
And like sometimes it's people who haven't even I also like get bugged when people say that and they've gone like the people saying it have gone through the same thing that the person that they're saying it to is going through.
So
so
the
you would-
person that's saying get over it hasn't processed their stuff or is compartmentalizing.
Or they think they have and they're like I got over it, so you need to get over
Yeah.
it too. And it's like you would think that somebody who's gone through the same thing would have more empathy because they've gone
Yeah.
through it and they're just like they're less
Or they like I
empathetic.
guess like they project their expectations of their own journey onto someone else.
Mhm.
And that's not where like
Yes.
that's not where I'm at. I'm not like
Mhm.
where you are.
Yeah.
Can you please just let me process
Everyone-
this right now?
yeah.
Everyone deals with situations in a different way.
Yeah.
And some people don't really realize that.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
It's good to have grace there.
yes, I've been going through something similar
Yeah. I
with
know.
my partner.
Yeah.
We've been trying to basically one of us is going through something right now
Mhm.
and through that transition phase
Yeah.
of that, and admittedly I haven't been the best at helping
Mhm.
them, admittedly, because of my way of doing it is to always like say, oh, it will get better.
Mhm.
However, my partner, that's not how
they want to be like
they want
supported.
supported. Yes.
Yeah.
So we've been
Working
on that,
communication.
on not only just communication, but also seeing how the other person deals with situations as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that goes along with what we're saying.
It does,
here.
like
So
communicating your
definitely.
support and seeing someone else that's like kind of dealing with a process of like moving on or whatever. That person, how they would like to be supported through that process is going to be different than like how you would, and it can cause a little. It can. I would say it can cause conflict, but I think it's a good thing. So you can learn like each person's like different styles of like processing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So like, okay, that leads to like very, like a very, like kind of sticky territory. Because
Yeah.
okay, let's say we have a scenario, right, where a person is
Can I
struggling.
be the person?
Well, no, because like
Oh,
Oh.
it's a scenario, you know.
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
I also don't want the listeners to get confused and think that it
Oh
actually
yeah.
is about you.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Gotcha.
So like, let's say that we have a scenario with a person who's like struggling with something, and they're coping with it, like, or not coping with it, but like living the consequences of
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is that they've gone through, like death or anything like that, from
Mhm.
somebody that they know,
Mhm.
and their moving forward is self like harming, not like self-harming, self-antagonizing.
Okay.
Like it's not good for themselves, and we have a friend who's trying to help them move forward in a healthier way.
Mhm.
Like that's different than from everyone handles things differently
Yeah.
than from when you're like full on harming yourself.
Yeah.
Whether it be physically or mentally or
Yeah.
emotionally.
Yeah.
I feel like that can be very
That's a sticky situation. That's where
Indeed.
like
sticky.
that's where like that is a sticky situation because like you see the person like of how they're coping with things, and deep down that this might be like self-destructive, and that's where like that's where it can be hard to like know how to communicate to them.
Yeah.
Because for me in my history, I'm like I get codependent with things. I feel like as like all I don't know. I like people that are like in health or
Yeah.
mental health. Like we get you have a heart of compassion for people, but
Oh, yeah, for sure.
it gets like into codependency where it's like, oh, they I don't know. It's hard to like know how to like support and then just kind of like go to like allow the consequence to happen. If I'm making sense.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's hard to watch people suffer, but
Exactly. Yeah.
it's just kind of, I don't want to say it is what it is, but
No.
it's, I don't want to say, okay, so when you see someone that's like processing trauma or whatever, and maybe they're like, not coping with it in a healthy way, I always like to say, like, it's not the trauma is not your fault, or whatever happened isn't your fault. It's just you just might not know how to process that season or the process. You probably don't know how to do that, and the way that I can connect you to help is to like I can connect you to help, but you have to make that choice.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Hey, Laura, what do you
Hi.
think? What do you think?
I made a list on my phone while everybody was sharing so I wouldn't forget. But
Yeah.
so first, I think it's important to acknowledge your feelings and to really kind of think about how you are feeling, because I think that's the basis of understanding yourself and how you can care for others while also kind of accepting that you are important too. Because I know that's easy for me to kind of forget sometimes. But that's why when we're talking about the healing, like it's appropriate to take your time to heal. There's no timeline on that.
There's no time.
And just giving yourself the care and your own compassion, like Michael, like you were talking about with codependency.
Oh my gosh, it's such a huge thing for me.
Just
I
kind
worked
of
on that like this summer.
it's a hard thing to deal with, but
Yeah.
also giving yourself the same compassion back that you're giving to other people, because I know
Yeah.
that that's a hard thing to do,
Yeah.
and I struggle with it myself.
Oh,
But
yeah, same here.
when you are at a place of giving yourself the love that you give yourself, you share it even bigger with the people around you, and
Yeah.
it creates like a whole effect.
Yeah,
that makes
it's like
sense.
a ripple effect.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I definitely get that because I think we get so like bogged down with like how to support someone, but have we like supported ourselves?
Yeah.
Have we supported ourselves?
And that's the thing that not many people think about in those situations. It's almost like you go into a fight or flight mode and it's automatically, boom, right about the situation. Like, do you ever stop to think about how you would feel in that situation?
Yeah.
It's not
Is
something
that-
that crosses your
Is that
mind.
what people like say? Is that what people say? Get over it because they don't like
Yeah,
understand
that's the big
themselves?
question.
That's like, is
Or
that
I
what
feel
people
like
say?
maybe like I feel like you see that maybe you probably still see it in our generation, but I feel like a lot of the times that I've heard it, it's like from older people.
Mm-hmm.
It's like maybe like you also never know like how someone grew up and maybe their parents were like, okay, well sometimes if they were the oldest child, it's like, okay, well you have to help support the family. You
When
get
I was
over
growing
it
up,
and
I
you
didn't
work.
have this.
Or
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
I didn't
When
have
I
this.
was-
Oh yeah,
I
that.
didn't have
When
this.
I was
okay?
your age.
And that's where you kind of like, if you are dealing with that, you should also like kind of prioritize like
Yourself.
you healing it, and
Yeah.
so you don't like pass it on through generations.
Because that's like
'Cause-
where the disconnect of empathy like begins. Is when people are like, "Oh, when I was growing up, I didn't." I
Yeah,
didn't,
and then you kind of like
babysit."
trauma dump your stuff onto your children, and then if they don't break the cycle, their children get it, and then it keeps
And then
going.
it's the people that surround them too, and then it
Yeah.
creates a widespread effect.
It's just terrible.
It really is. And there's stuff that can be done to prevent the spread.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I think. Yeah, I think just learning like, for me, it's like learning a different way of processing trauma
Yeah.
than maybe like what, maybe from just what I was taught. I'm not saying like my family's like bad, but it's not like maybe like the healthiest way of going about processing healing, or it's not the way that's authentic to me.
Or
'cause
maybe
not-
it's like authentic to them, but maybe
Yeah,
it's
not
not. It's not
authentic to
bad. It
me.
may not be bad, but you just have a different
Exactly.
Approach.
method of approaching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, of course they don't have bad intentions. It's just that
No.
that was
Yeah.
how they were,
Raised.
raised, and that's
Yeah.
how they deal with it.
Yeah, some might, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of them might not.
I just
Yeah.
thought of something. So,
Yeah.
one of the things that I struggle with is if I were to talk to somebody about something that I'm going through, sometimes it's the other person will be like, I've had it a billion times worse, or like a one up effect.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes I struggle on how to deal with that
It's
in that
always like
situation. It's almost like I shut down.
It's always like you're lucky because like
Yeah.
when I had it, it's like
Is that
great.
what
That
people
makes
like-
it feel
good
better.
for you.
Is that why people are like afraid to be vulnerable?
I
Because
think
of,
so.
like,
I
the
think so.
reaction?
Yeah,
Yeah.
belittled.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
And it
Yeah,
shouldn't have to be that way because everybody's experience is valid.
Yeah.
And everybody should, in quotation marks, be
keyword.
able to understand how somebody would react in that time, because in that time it's not about one-upping. It's about being there for that person.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like sometimes like it becomes almost like a competition of like you went through that, I went through that, and
No,
10
mine
times
was
Oh,
worse.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mine
Yep.
was worse. Okay.
Does
that doesn't help anybody.
That makes it feel
Competition
so much
people.
better.
And then people just shut down, and then they're less likely to share, and then the cycle just keeps going.
Yeah, they just like kind of just
and
keep
then
it
it's
in.
like when you ask, it's like, oh, it's nothing,
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess they learn.
because they've been told that.
They learned that it's nothing.
Yeah.
In quotes.
Oh, yeah, of
It's
course.
nothing.
I was adding emphasis.
I realize they can't see us like when we do the quotes, the,
quote
air
bubble.
Yeah.
quotes.
Can
Yeah.
you see us? Oh, sorry. Okay.
They
Yeah.
can see through
It's
the
a mental
Nope.
image.
They can see through the
Yeah.
Spotify.
See the quotation marks. Yeah, through the
Just like
Spotify.
visualize it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. For emphasis.
I
That's,
don't know.
that's why I
think-
want to add cameras. Anyway, keep going.
I think I want to just like get. I want to. I guess in order for us to get better at like having empathy for people and their journeys is to take a hard look at our own journey, so we understand. Okay, you don't have to go through the exact same situation, but maybe like you learn something from your journey, and maybe the person's learning something similar.
Yeah, and a lot of times from what I've noticed is I've learned a lot from other people,
Yeah.
and I've also gotten better at being able to be there for other people.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a struggle, when I'm not exactly in a good place myself.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I definitely have learned a lot about my friends and family and the people around me through so many different experiences. But none of them can be compared to each other because they're all specific to each and every one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people always like try to compare and be like, oh, this is bad, but this is worse. And it's like, there's no
Yeah.
need for comparisons.
No.
No.
Things can be bad and they can be also bad. Like, they don't have to, you don't have to
Mhm.
compare them.
Yeah, no.
I like that. Things can be bad, and things can also be bad.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
me too. Like, things can also be bad.
It's things are always being compared, and it's like, what good does that do?
No.
It doesn't do any good for either one of you.
Yeah.
Well, this is kind of similar, where if someone is going through something, one of the more popular techniques of helping somebody is like telling a story of something that you went through similarly.
I feel like that's different though.
I mean, it is
Yeah.
different, but it's
Yeah.
like in the same.
It's kind of the
sort.
same though at the same time.
Same river.
It's different, but at the same
different,
time.
Different stream, same river.
Yeah.
Or
if
same
that makes
river,
sense.
different water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoa.
that's a good one, Angie.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom from Angie
So
over
deep.
here.
Again, we need a compilation of that.
We do.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I do.
So what do you think of that?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, like, to be honest, I appreciate the effort
Mm-hmm.
of them
Mhm.
if they do that, but it really doesn't, like, deep down, for me at least, it doesn't help.
No.
Because I didn't go through
Doesn't
that
help.
situation. No.
But I know that some people genuinely do it, like, they tell a bad story, and then after hearing my own, and they're like, well, you know, like, keep your head up, and I know that they're
Oh,
doing
yeah,
it from a
that-
good intention, so that will, like, trigger less of, like, a irritation from me,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mhm.
it's still maybe not the best way
So
to
maybe a
go
bit
about
like
it.
isolating.
But I will appreciate the effort because it shows that they're trying
Yeah, they're
to lift my
trying.
Yeah.
spirits,
Yeah.
but it's not like the best way to actually help me
Do
feel
it.
better about the situation.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know about you guys. Like,
'Cause-
there's probably people who
Yeah.
they're like, oh yeah, it could be worse, and then they're like, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's like a way of saying, like, hey, I don't know. Maybe like you're not the only one who has gone through this before. Like maybe I could help you.
I know I'm always
That
quick
way?
to be like, okay, this is happening. Like, how can I help? Like, I
Mhm.
immediately
Yeah.
want to jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I'm also going through something, it makes it impossible. But I have to try to find that way to be like, okay, even if things are being one-upped or whatever you want to say, even if
Mhm.
things are being said that's like, this story's happening, it's like, they're also a person.
Mhm.
And it's like, their feelings matter to me too.
Yeah.
But it's a little hard. I mean, especially in this day and age, over the phone for me personally, because I would rather just talk it out and just be there in person.
Yes.
Right.
Just
definitely.
personal preference. I know people sometimes are texters. I mean, I'll text if I have to, but it's kind of not my favorite thing to do in life.
Yeah, I prefer
Yeah.
talking.
I also
I do like
prefer talking.
I know
Yeah.
that, like, sometimes for me, I prefer talking, but there's times where, like, I want to let people know what's going on, but I don't necessarily want
To give them context.
Or if you
No.
like don't have the words to like want to
Yeah,
talk about
or,
it
like,
too.
sometimes you're just, like, a situation is just so mentally exhausting
For sure.
that you just want to let people know what's going on so they don't think that you're, like, dying or something, you know? Like,
Mhm.
kind of
No,
let them
for
know what's
sure,
going
yeah.
on and that it's not, like,
Yeah.
that kind of situation, but still let them know, but you also don't have the energy to be, like, explaining and going over things again. So I don't know, every case is different. There's times where I do prefer presence and comfort, and then there's times where I prefer, like, just, like, letting people know and kind
and
of taking
tying that
time to
all back
myself.
together, it's kind of you accepting how you feel about emotions and
Yeah.
knowing that you're doing what's best for you.
Yeah.
And that's really important and really good for your character and you as a person.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, it also, I think
Yeah.
that goes along with accepting your emotions and accepting
Yeah.
that you don't owe an explanation
No.
to other people.
I like that. I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
jumped
know.
That
off
was
along
awesome.
what you said.
No, it was great.
Yeah.
I really like that line. Like, you don't
Mhm.
owe anything to anyone because you're you.
Yeah.
And whatever you want to do is up to you. You don't have to act one way. You don't have to conform to anything. If you feel like you want to share something, you do it. If you don't, that's okay too. It's perfectly fine to not want to share anything. And
Mhm.
any way you choose to do anything you want to do, it's okay. And I think that's a big point to hit on.
Did we just drop some bars, guys?
Yeah, I think so.
We did.
That was freaking awesome.
The teamwork
Yeah.
over here, guys.
Yeah.
That was good.
So do you think men struggle in the department of this department?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah.
I heard a
I'm
sigh.
listening because I'm listening.
Oh.
Okay, I heard a
Yeah,
sigh.
we are
Oh.
locked
No,
in.
no, it's not that kind of stuff.
No, I know. It's like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
How does that, like, do one of you want to share
Elaborate,
about,
yeah.
like, how that
Okay.
would have...
I think because men, my theory. This is my theory perspective, so don't throw rocks at me. My theory is that because men sometimes shy away from accepting like our own journey and like accepting like things in our own life that we're not aware of how to take in someone else's journey because we're like not aware of our own. We haven't like gone through like the acceptance of like whatever regret or whatever happened like in the trauma journey. So we're just kind of at a loss because we don't get that to ourselves. Yeah. Or or we've been like modeled maybe from like just important like I don't know male figures or just anyone like maybe our groups or social groups of like the model of get over it, just have that exterior.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of like are at a loss of what to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. It's
Yeah.
nice to hear from your guys' perspective.
Definitely. Yeah.
I never really thought of it like that, but I learned something new today.
Cool.
So
Yay!
It's just my perspective.
And that's one of the
no,
coolest.
it's perfect. It's great. It's your perspective.
Yeah.
Like, going back to the you, it's how you feel.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
And you're being yourself, and
yeah.
that's what matters.
Yeah. I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess acceptance is so important. And just accepting just anything, a decision that you made, or maybe how you regret how you maybe didn't support someone in the way that they wanted to. You might feel some regret, but how do you like accept that okay, this is time to grow and to process that. I can still grow. Like I'm not at a loss. I can still, grow and just learn new ways of doing things. So yeah, I think there's like acceptance is a bridge, maybe from the past to like the present and future, to like the potential that you could go, because you have to like accept what happened to like look to the future and to like go on that journey and stuff like that.
I think to kind of bridge off what you're saying, the bridge analogy right there, I think it's more a bridge that leads to an endless road,
Yeah.
because you're always learning stuff. You're always figuring stuff out. I don't
Figuring
think
stuff
it's
out.
necessarily a one-stop, two-way bridge exit. I think it's more of like a bridge that leads to a road that just
Keeps
winds and just keeps going.
Yeah. We talked about figuring stuff out over the summer. We had that conversation about like having things figured out. Like you don't have to have things figured out.
No.
We're like growing up.
Yeah.
Growing up until maybe now, I thought I had to have like things figured out, but I realized that no one does, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You have to
And if
accept
they
that.
do, they're lying.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's what I
People of all ages,
Yeah.
do that. Even like
Yeah.
the oldest and wisest person still has things they gotta figure out.
Or a lot of
That's
them like
perfect.
also have regrets too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of older people, they're like, oh, like, I wish, like, sometimes when you talk to people at our age, they're like, oh, like, you're in college and stuff like that. Like, when I was your age, like, now that I think back when I was your age, I would have liked to have done this, and I regret not doing this, and I regret not going here. And it's like, you also have to learn to accept, and take things, like, day by day. Because if you, like, have so much regrets, you get overwhelmed with all these regrets, and like, what if I had done this, and I could have been this. And it's like, just come to the terms that you're living the life that you're living now, and that maybe if you had done those things that you regret not doing, you probably wouldn't have experienced the life that you're living now.
That makes sense.
And maybe you would be less happy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Who knows? Yeah.
Do you have everything figured out?
No.
Do you have everything
Heck
figured
no.
out?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
Definitely not.
Okay.
Do you, Micah?
No.
And that's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay to
that's
not have
alright.
it figured
yeah, 1
out.
plus 2 is still. Yeah. 1
Yeah.
plus 2 is 3.
1 plus 2 is...
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
yeah.
3 is
Sorry, it's late.
That took me a little while.
Oh, yeah.
3 to carry the
Hey,
Yeah.
3 for season 3.
Whoa!
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The mic just spiked when we did that. Anyway.
It's adding pizzazz.
It's like settle down.
I don't know. I think like that makes me feel more at peace, knowing that like other people don't have like everything figured out, and like I'm not like doing adulthood wrong or something. So, I think like just that goes along with acceptance, accepting where you are. It's not like you're not like where you are. It's not a mistake. If that makes sense.
It's just part of the process, and sometimes the process is ugly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Super ugly.
Yeah.
Ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not.
And it doesn't look the same for everyone either.
No.
It's not
Mhm.
one set way you're supposed to feel about
Yeah.
anything.
Also, everyone has their own goals
Of course,
Mhm.
yeah.
that they want to achieve.
Everyone thinks
Everyone
different
has
too.
their own paths.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everyone thinks differently. So it's all about the person, and if you want to be like who you want to be in that road ahead, but also just there's some difficulties in that, and no one's perfect.
Really? Let's see.
Nobody's
Mikey,
perfect.
you're perfect. Well, Mikey, you're perfect. No, I'm kidding.
No.
I'm gonna be
No.
spitting
Have
bars
you
to Hannah
seen me?
Montana.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
I like the Who Says song.
Who says you're not perfect?
No, not that one. No, the
Oh,
Hannah,
that?
from
What?
Hannah Montana.
Oh, me
That-
and you.
that's also
Yeah,
Selena-
we were vibing.
That's a
Mike,
Selena
I think that
Gomez.
is from Hannah Montana.
That's Selena
Oh,
Gomez.
yeah, you're right.
Oh.
Wait, how does
Don't
that
ask
one
me. I have
go?
no idea what this is.
Wait.
I'll tell
I'm
you
a
later.
fake Selena Gomez fan.
No.
No.
Who says you're not perfect?
I don't know what this
Selena-
song is,
that's Selena
guys.
Gomez. That's Selena Gomez.
Every time you say Selena Gomez, I think like Wizard of Waverly Place.
When she did Selena Gomez in the scene.
She did
What
Selena
scene?
Gomez in the scene.
What
Yeah.
scene?
What scene?
Like she had the
Oh.
band. It was like a band, wasn't it a band? Like Selena-
Lemonade Mouth?
No,
Oh,
it was
oh,
like, so it was, okay. Before
I
she
know
did
that
like
movie.
she did like so when she made we're getting off topic.
Oh,
my
that's okay.
gosh.
I don't know.
That's what makes us unique.
Yeah.
I kind of
Yeah.
lost my train of thought. Selena
I
Gomez,
think you were
everyone.
going towards something about nobody's perfect.
Yeah, no one's perfect.
Nobody is there. Okay.
If you
I gotta
are,
be stuck in that thing.
Who
All right.
if you are, then I don't know you. So
Nobody is. Is that
Yeah.
the thing? That's the
Yeah.
thing. Is that even if you say you are, like,
is that the trend
You're
now?
not.
No one's perfect.
I think
no
people
one
for
is
It
perfect.
should
Yeah.
be.
It
It's
should
been-
be a
it
trend.
hasn't been a
It's-
trend.
it
It's
should
been
be
a
the-
it's been a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Woo! Mic drop.
Literally. But no, I think people forget that no
they're
one's
not,
perfect.
yeah.
I think.
Or I think they like to think that they're above it all,
Yeah.
and they're not. Nobody is.
Social media is definitely was not helping that department. But
I don't know about social media.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Well,
He
the
doesn't
thing
have
is
social
that
media.
like you learn to think that people on social media that you follow or people that you see are perfect
Oh.
because they just highlight and post the good things.
Yeah, and they
They're
edit
not-
all of their pictures.
They're not gonna
and
post
Oh.
themselves struggling to study for finals
Definitely
at 3 in
not.
the morning. They're gonna like post when they're
at the beach.
at a vacation in Hawaii.
Yeah.
or at
Yeah.
the beach.
They're not gonna post anything that's on the
Yeah.
anything where anybody's struggling because everybody thinks on social media they have to have a perfect image of
But does
basically
sorry.
but it's also kind of living like an I don't know, I'm going down another way, but like almost like unauthenticity. That's the
what
word
I
I'm
was
going
gonna-
There
for.
we go.
Yeah.
Unauthenticity. Because like you said, nobody's perfect, so why like I'm just saying this in general, but like why act like you are on social media if that's not the person you are now?
I think it's just like them not being able to accept.
Their,
That
their
they're
own
not.
humanity.
So they want to
Yeah.
project that they're like this perfect. It's like a mask. I know we
Pretty
talked
much.
about that like months ago.
Yeah.
This is a flashback, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe you guys
Flashback
maybe you
to
guys should go.
season 2, episode whatever it was.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys
So-
should go through season 2 and find out which episode that is. Like,
Yeah,
Wink,
go back
wink.
and listen, then
What was
come
it
back.
saying?
But yeah, they want to just project that, and it's just a mask, and they're not accepting that their reality. Yes, it has good parts, great parts,
Mhm.
parts that are worth living,
Oh, for
but they
sure,
also
yeah.
have bad parts that have led them to the good parts.
Mhm.
Everybody does. It's
Yeah,
nobody's
that-
story in life is
So
perfect.
sunshine and
my que-
rainbows.
my question is like, does that make people feel connected when they see all those perfect things?
If anything, it makes them feel like
Disconnected.
crap.
Yeah.
Does it make them feel like more isolated that they're seeing someone like have this?
I
perfect
think so,
image?
yeah.
It's
Okay.
FOMO. It's fear of
FOMO.
missing
Okay.
out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of.
I also
Yeah.
find myself relating to people that I see that it seems like they have their entire life together. And I'm just like, oh, like I'll see a social media post and be like, oh, well, this person looks great. Like they're having a vibe, and then
I don't
but you
have
also
that.
don't know how somebody's feeling behind a screen
yeah,
either.
for
or
sure.
even like how they got there too.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
too. So that's something that I struggle with.
Yeah, and I think it's also like easy to smile like
Oh yeah.
for the camera, and then like when it's gone, like do you just like put your smile away?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you do with it? That's a good
Yeah.
question.
Oh.
Have
Do
you
you
guys
keep
seen?
it?
Have you guys seen those commercials? I forget what they were, but like
Progressive?
it was like some sort of
From
medication,
Geico.
or like the person they had
Probably.
like a paper cutout of a smiley face, but like
Oh.
behind it.
Is it
like
the Crest?
maybe I'm
Like
not
the
sure.
toothpaste?
What were you
The
watching?
white strips or toothpaste?
No,
I
no, no,
think
not,
so.
not that. It was like some sort of like depression medication where in the person they had like a smiley face cutout of like a piece of paper, but behind
Yeah.
it
If
they're
that's
like
for
they're like
medication, they need like
they're
a
like
new
sad.
ad.
So that's kind of what. not the,
No, it makes sense.
Ignore the
It does
medication
make
thing.
sense.
No,
It
no,
makes
no. But the
sense.
smiley face, like with the mask, it's making sense how you're tying it together.
Yeah,
I get
That's
where you're
what I-
going.
that's what
Or
Perfectly
like, you know, when
hidden
you wake up,
depression.
you choose what mask you're gonna wear. Are you gonna
Yes.
be happy? Or are you gonna be depressed? Or are you gonna be like sad? Are you gonna be the
I'm gonna
not
choose this
caring?
one.
Are you gonna be the one that like is above it all? Like which one
Mhm.
are you gonna choose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whatever you choose, is it? If it's a mask, it's not your most authentic self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that there's a struggle with being authentic because like of all the stuff that we have nowadays, like social media and like people not always wanting to acknowledge mental health and stuff like that. So I get that.
Because it goes against
But-
the culture of inauthenticity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also feel like there's a point where you decide like
Mhm.
for yourself if you're going to keep that pattern going or if you're
Yeah.
going to at least try to seek out help and try to move past that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That
Tying it all
barrier.
back together from
Yeah.
earlier,
Yeah.
choosing
And accept.
yourself
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
accepting.
Accept yourself.
Yeah. Exactly.
So are we perfect?
No.
No,
even.
nobody's
Not even close.
perfect.
No.
I don't know what this song is, but
It's
you
from
two
Hannah,
got me on this
We
thing a
are.
little
I
bit.
think was it Hannah Montana?
It is.
I think so. It's been a while.
Yeah. And I feel like
Everyone says I look like her, but that's besides the point.
Oh dang. Cool.
And I feel like most genuine people are those who acknowledge that they're
own
not perfect.
imperfections, Yeah.
And
You
that's
feel
hard to
com-
acknowledge.
You feel safe around that.
It's very hard to say
It
that you're
takes a
not
journey.
perfect.
Yeah.
It's
To know
Yeah.
how to
Realize
accept
that.
it.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Maybe it's because of shame.
That's yeah.
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 Yeah. You feel like ashamed of your imperfections.
Mhm.
And this ties back into like growing up in culture. I was like going back to growing up. I feel like if like maybe like your parents modeled that having imperfections or whoever, it doesn't have to be parents, it could be like friends or through school, model that being not anything less than perfect is deemed unacceptable. So you just kind of you develop that shame, and so now you have that shame every time you try to show an imperfection, you put on the mask.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just went into like.
No.
No,
I
that's
mean,
great.
I mean, I know that you say that, oh, I always go back to where, like, growing up, but that's kind of where it starts.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because, like,
Yeah.
you can change as you grow older, but a lot of who you are and who your character is, it starts out from growing.
Attachment.
Character development.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah, also what?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I just like started like staring in that direction. I don't know why.
Also, I need to stop saying
My
sorry.
fault.
I need to stop saying sorry because
So do I, honestly.
all the time.
Sometimes
I
it's
say that
better
a
to say
lot.
thank you than say sorry.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I just
I
keep
don't
saying
know.
my fault.
I
My
can
bad.
I compulsively say it because I just feel like
I do the same
a
thing.
nuisance
and
when
I've-
like do
I've started
something.
to
Do you guys ever
realize that.
notice that you're saying I'm sorry a lot? Because
I'm
I
starting to
feel
notice
like
it
I
more.
didn't notice that much, and then the more I started to do it, I was like, oh, I think this is like something that I've been saying a
Or
lot.
Yeah.
I say like when I say a joke, I say I'm kidding immediately after.
And sometimes when you say I'm sorry, like, is it really that you're sorry, or are you just saying,
I
oh,
just-
I'm sorry?
I just feel bad for the
like,
moment.
It loses
Yeah.
meaning
Awkwardness.
sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sorry for the awkwardness I caused.
Oops.
Oopsie.
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 Oopsie poopsie.
Yeah.
I did
But maybe
it
maybe that
again.
ties in that ties into how we accept our own humanity. If we keep saying sorry, that means doesn't mean that like if we
It's
compulsively
like I'm sorry
say
for
it.
being human.
Yeah. like,
Yeah.
are we like
Oops.
apologizing for being human?
I feel like some people probably do, even
Yeah.
though it's like
Or we're that guilty?
they
for
struggle
being
to
human?
feel human or let themselves be like that without being unapologetic.
Mm-hmm. I like that word.
Wow, I do too.
I like that word.
That was
It's
cool.
lovely.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I like how the people outside are just watching us.
Subscribe
Oh, I didn't know that was
Subscribe to
cool.
Men's Couch. Oh,
Hey, you guys should do that.
yeah.
I know. I didn't know.
Oh, I have an announcement. I got my roommate to subscribe to Men's Couch.
That's
and
right.
I thought I would announce it on the
New
podcast.
subscriber.
So shout out
Yeah.
to my roommate Alex.
And what you guys should do? You guys should do the same thing.
Yeah, I think that would be
Subscribe.
pretty awesome.
That would count.
Because we're all pretty awesome people, and
Yeah.
we would love it.
Yeah, that
We're,
should be a
not,
trend.
we're not perfect people.
No,
not perfect.
by all
But-
means, no.
but
We're imperfect.
Yes.
We're imperfectly.
Unapologetically.
Unapologetically.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Oh,
shit. Oh.
Yeah.
it's
But
perfect.
maybe that's what it comes down to. The reason why we can't like look at our own regrets is because we have a problem accepting our own humanity or
Yeah.
just seeing our imperfections.
What were we doing?
I don't know.
I was feeding off of Angie's energy over here for a sec.
Yeah.
Drum roll,
But yeah, I'm glad that we're season 3. I'm glad
Yeah.
of the topics. I'm glad to ease into this and to just learn new things.
Yeah, and I
Because-
bet even along this show, we're gonna learn new things.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a pretty awesome
Like,
season.
I've
It
learned
is.
a lot from over when we started this show, all the way until now.
Mm-hmm.
I met some great people,
Mm-hmm.
and I,
Mhm.
and I can't wait
Are you
to.
gonna cry?
No.
No.
You're like,
He
Aw,
might not, but I
Actually,
might.
I'm actually tearing
Aw,
up a little
shucks.
bit, but I don't know
Yeah,
why. But,
Oh.
yeah, cry.
don't look at
I
me.
like watching people cry.
Don't look at me.
It's okay.
Micah,
this
are
is
you
a
going to cry?
vulnerable, friendly place.
Yes.
I almost cried. I cried when we were talking about like how we changed each other's lives that one day. Remember?
Yeah.
We were like, "You changed my life."
Because Micah, you really did.
Besties for the resties.
Yeah. That's
Live
right.
for the bromance.
All right. Well, anyone else have anything else to add before we?
Not really. Just that I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next and the new topics, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
We're cooking.
Are you
We're
sure?
fucking-
Be unapologetically
Are you sure?
imperfect.
Are you sure we're? Are you
Oh.
sure you're not perfect?
Oh,
Oh.
that went hard. That was
Hold
good.
on. Dang, we're dropping bars. Yeah.
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 All right.
Be you.
Be you.
Be you.
All right, Lauren, you want to take it away with the?
Yeah. So thank you all for watching our video. This is the first one of the year. We're all excited, and we can't wait to catch you in the next episode. Whoop whoop. So everybody want to say bye?
Bye.
Let's see
Bye.
you guys.
I
See
went
ya.
to the bathroom.
Again?
Thank you for
No,
sharing.
No, like because I remember I had to pee at the beginning,
Yeah.
and then like I was about to explode.
Yeah.
Oh.
New video coming to the Instagram.
New video.
You might see Mike. But
Mm.
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
So don't forget to follow us on Instagram and listen to us on Spotify. And yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not perfect.
Yeah, me neither, guys.
No, don't be
Nope.
sorry.
Don't
Oh.
be
No,
sorry.
okay, okay.
Sorry,
I'm
sorry, not sorry.
Nope. No sorry.
Okay.
Not
That's
sorry.
another song.
Not
sorry,
sorry.
not sorry.
Reese's.
Baby,
Sorry,
I'm
not
sorry.
sorry.
Not sorry, Reese's.
Bye.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye.
See you
Have a
later,
good
guys.
night.
See ya.
Yeah. Good night, Tri-State area.